Thank you for using this on-demand webinar to learn more about the interview process and AJLI governance leadership. I'm Cynthia Foster, AJLI Governance Committee Chair from the Junior League of San Francisco.
And I am Bette Williams, AJLI Governance Committee Vice Chair from the Junior League of Columbia, South Carolina.
And I'm Nancy Scarlato, AJLI Governance Committee at-large member from the Junior League of Philadelphia.
Let's introduce the 2016-17 Governance Committee. In addition to the Governance Chair, the committee consists of Governance Vice Chair, Bette Williams, Junior League of Columbia, Sherry Boyle, Junior League of Panama City, Jeannie DeKine, Junior League of Arlington, Brandy Hunt, Junior League of Phoenix, Nancy Scarlato, Junior League of Philadelphia, Katie Shuck, Junior League of Portland, Jeff Tausig, Junior League of the City of New York, Whitney Wilson-Wirtz, Junior League of Charlotte, and Susan Danish, AJLI's Executive Director. In this webinar, we'll review the interview process, open positions, competencies required, and provide an overview of the behavioral interview. We will also answer some frequently asked questions, conduct a mock interview, and provide tips for references. The Governance Committee has one mission: to slate the best possible team to lead the association. Let's take a look at the calendar of our process. This webinar focuses on the interviewing phase, which occurs in October. Reference checks also occur during this time. Slating takes place in November, and the slate will be presented to the junior leagues in December. At annual conference, election results will be announced during the annual meeting. Let's take a look at the open board positions shown on this slide in red that the Governance Committee will be slating for election in 2017. These include President-elect for a one-year term to serve starting in June 2017 and moving into the President role from 2018 to 2020. Treasurer to serve for a two-year term starting in June of 2017 through 2019. And 3 at-large directors to serve a three-year term starting in June of 2017 to 2020. Currently, we are slating the Governance Vice Chair and 4 at-large members.
The Governance Committee slates candidates with demonstrated leadership experience, as well as depth and breadth in her junior league, civic, and professional experience. These criteria are specified in the operational policies approved by junior leagues, also known as the OPALs, as qualities that the leagues want us to find in leaders for the association. Also, we are looking for league leaders who are ready to serve at the association level. This is not as much as a next step in your league career as it is about who has the leadership talent and experience to be an effective leader in the AJLI boardroom or on the Governance Committee. For that reason, we look for depth and breadth of leadership in an applicant's league, civic, and professional careers. The Governance Committee is bound by the OPALs, which state the following selection criteria. We are looking for women who demonstrate broad perspectives, commitment to diversity and inclusion, the courage to dissent, credibility among peers, flexibility, good interpersonal skills, demonstrated leadership qualities. They are risk takers with accountability, and women who are thoughtful and visionary. These criteria are translated into 8 competencies that fall into 3 broad categories: demonstrated leadership, personal effectiveness, and relationships. After the Governance Committee has reviewed and considered all the applications, the committee will meet to determine those candidates who will be invited to the next phase of the application process. Letters will be sent to all applicants via email to let them know the status of their application. This notification will be coordinated by AJLI governance staff. Those applicants who are invited to the next phase of the application process, which is the interview phase, will also receive information regarding scheduling the interview, as well as information about the interview itself. A few days or so before your interview, a member of the interview team will touch base with you to confirm your interview date and time. If you have an unavoidable conflict or if you get sick, please contact us as soon as possible. Interviews will be conducted by an interview team of members of the Governance Committee. You can expect an interview to last between 60 and 90 minutes, and you will be asked behavior-based questions that address all 8 competencies, as well as a few questions that address the mission, vision, and strategic direction of AJLI. Here are some helpful hints to help you prepare for the interview. First, find a quiet place where you will not be disturbed, and make sure that you are comfortable and relaxed, and prepare, but do not try to script your answers in advance.
It is a good idea to prepare for the interview by thinking of concrete examples in your league, professional, and other nonprofit, volunteer, civic, and public service life where you have best demonstrated the 8 competencies. Your example can be about something that didn't work, but from which you learned. As you know, the Governance Committee seeks to slate members who have a strong working knowledge of AJLI. Before the interview, it is a good idea to spend some time on the AJLI website reviewing information about current AJLI initiatives, including association goals and ends, the AJLI board plan, and other governance materials. When asked a question about your past behavior in a particular situation, try to consider that situation in 3 important ways. What did you do in the situation? What was the outcome in the situation? And what did you learn in the situation? We are going to go through a sample interview question and response, just as it would occur during the interview. Cynthia will be the applicant, and Bet and I will be the interview team.
Good afternoon, Cynthia. Tell us about a time when you've had to achieve consensus in a group disagreement. What was the outcome?
In my work at the Miami Herald newspaper, I was assigned to an interdepartmental task force. We were tasked to develop new products that would be of interest to furniture companies so that the company could grow revenue from furniture stores. It quickly became apparent that because of my junior league experience, I had the most experience in bringing diverse groups together, and I was asked by the group to serve as the project leader. In this group, we had employees from the newsroom, graphic design, advertising, special projects, finance, and interactive media. At first, we were all over the place with our ideas, and we had some very strong-willed people in the group who had the my way or the highway mindset. We talked about slick magazines, newsprint tabloid inserts, staff capacity, online and regular newspaper features. With much discussion and many meetings, we eventually decided to recommend to the company that we develop a new slick magazine product distributed to select high-income households in the Miami-Dade County. We also recommended a corresponding online product that would capitalize on our growing online footprint and give advertising great reach with their ad dollars.
Cynthia, could you explain a little more about what exactly you did to bring the group together?
Because of my work in the Special Projects Department, I often worked across departments. I had a good reputation for hard work and for following through on my commitments. After our very first, very unproductive meeting, emotions were running high and department barriers remained firmly in place. It seemed to me that many people were struggling because they didn't feel their voices were being heard. At that second meeting, I asked that each member share their personal motivation for participating on this volunteer team and to share what company success would look like for them. Around the table, each person shared why they raised their hands to participate. It was a great bonding exercise. It broke down those departmental barriers and established much common ground. We established a strong list of must-haves, and we often referred back to this list as a litmus test during our project development. This really got buy-in and limited the off-channel bickering. This sharing session also gave me great insight into each member's communication styles. That second meeting really set the stage for success and helped us to be a high-performing team.
Thank you, Cynthia and Bet. We hope that in the first response you recognized a lack of specifics on how the candidate reached success with her project, and therefore a follow-up question was necessary to learn how she pulled the group together. With behavioral-based questions, again, we want to know what you have accomplished and how you got to your goals. Remember, the interview is the time for you to showcase specific examples from your rich leadership experience. Be specific, to the point, and genuine.
Now, a few notes about references. If you are invited for an interview, you will be asked to provide 2 references who can speak firsthand of your leadership experience. One reference will be asked to speak on your league and association experience. and this reference should be able to provide examples of observed competencies in your league or association environments, as long as that person is not currently serving in an association position. Please note that if you select your current league president as your league reference, she will be contacted to serve as both your league reference and your league check.
Okay.
The other reference will be asked to speak on other nonprofit, volunteer, civic, or public service or professional experience. This reference should be able to provide examples of observed competencies in nonprofit, volunteer, civic, or public service other than junior league environments or in professional environments. We recommend that you speak with your references regarding your experience, give them a copy of your leadership resume, and the AJLI Competency Library. Again, we cannot emphasize enough that references should know you well and have the observed examples of you demonstrating the competencies. The interview with references should take approximately 20 minutes.
We have a few frequently asked questions regarding the governance interview process. The first is, must I demonstrate all 8 competencies?
You should be able to speak to all the competencies. Individuals will demonstrate the competencies in varying degrees, and no one will have the ability in all of them.
Must I have prior AJLI experience to be slated for the board or executive committee?
With the exception of the Governance Committee Vice Chair position, an applicant does not need prior board governance nominating committee experience to serve on the AJLI board or executive committee.
What type of reference is most helpful?
The best reference is one who can speak knowledgeably and firsthand about your leadership experience and how you have demonstrated the competencies either in the junior league or in a nonprofit, volunteer, community, public service, or professional role.
Thank you for answering those questions, Bet and Nancy, and thank you for your participation today. Please be sure to take our brief 5-question survey after closing this video. Your feedback is important to us. A link to the survey can be found on the Governance Webinars and FAQs page on the AJLI website. And remember, if you've got it, we want it.